Hello everyone, Curative is with you. And in this video, you will learn how to work an Arnold render for Cinema 4D. How to properly set up a render and work with materials, or rather, interaction with a substance painter. Let's start! Let's first unload the textures from the Substance Painter. If you want to know in detail how to create textures in Substance, then check out my tutorial for beginners. Now we do export. Click on export. Let's choose where to save the textures. I'll uncheck the binoculars. Let's make this glass material an Arnold. Let's see what textures will be unloaded. I'll put it in 16 bits. And initially I did everything in metal roughness. I will unload it as well. Let's go to the Configuration tab. Here you can add AO, Transparency, SSS maps. Let's click on Export. Here are our textures. Open Cinema 4D and turn on Arnold Render. Immediately set the screen resolution to Full HD. I'll close it. I'll pull out Arnold's menu. Add Sky, HDR will be here. I will click on the texture and select the map from the base of the substance. This is a panorama. With the help of the Light Kit Pro plugin, I will add a studio. I click on Browse, and I will choose the studio. I will remove everything except one lighting and platform. I will also delete unused materials. If you render, the softbox lighting texture error will pop up. Let's put them on. Now let's add the AWP model to be rendered. I will remove the camera. Zoom in. With the help of the Drop to Floor plugin, the model is substituted on top of the coordinate grid. All plugins can be downloaded from my VK group. We rotate the model. Let's move a little. I'll add a camera. Now, I will turn on the IPR window. This is a window for a quick preview of the render. I will put protection on the camera so as not to accidentally move. Let's create a material for Arnold. I'll open it. Here I will add textures that were made to the substance. This will be the base color map. This is roughness map. Metal. And normal map. Now let's drag the textures and connect. I'll put it on the model right away. Since the roughness map has a certain color in the card, check the box here. Metal also has a black and white card, and we also put a DAW. To add a normal map, you need to show the program that this is a normal map. Add the normal map here. And now we will transfer the texture. We do not check the box here. Let's connect. Displacement map. We also need to show the program. Immediately connected. Let's move the texture. Let's connect. We see that the result is a mess. To fix this, go to the displacement map and change it here to 0.01. And on the model itself, you need to put a special Arnold tag. And here we put 0.1. Also check the box. The card is also the same tone. I'll close this. Let's create a glass material for binoculars. Also new material, Arnold render. I'll rename it so as not to get confused. This is our main texture. I'll call it text. This is our glass material. Before creating them, let's create a ball object that will serve as a representation of the glass material. I'll add material to the ball. Let's move on to the material settings. Let's select custom. Let's add transparency. I'll change the color. I'll give it a blue tint. I'll put it on the weapon model. I'll remove the sphere. Let's move on to setting up the render. Go to the Render Passes tab. And add diffuse direct, diffuse indirect, mirror indirect, and indirect transmission. I'll close this. Now let's check each pass to make sure there is no noise. First, let's make a test render. Let's go to the layer, and here you will see all the passes that you have selected. I'll close this. Be sure to set the blur. It is usually installed when there is animation, but I recommend turning it on all the time. The first thing we'll change is the camera's AA, which means anti-aliasing. To test this, you need to clear the room and make it invisible to the HDR camera so that only the model remains. Turn on render. Let's move on to layers and alpha. It already works well on 3, but let's check it on 7. Let's compare. There is no particularly strong difference. Let's leave it to the 3. I'll show you how the AA camera affects blur. I have an animated ball here. Let's stop the frame at about 14th place. Blur is disabled here. Let's turn it on. As you can see, the blur works. Go to the alpha layer and you will see that it creates a lot of noise. I'll close and raise the camera AA to 5. If you compare, it is noticeable that the noise has become much less. Let's move on to AWP. Let's set up a diffuse pass. It is tested on every light source. The scene contains 2 HDR lights and a softbox. Disable softbox. Let's move on to layers. Dark frame. Let's turn up the HDR key intensity. As you can see, there is noise. To make less noise, each lighting has a samples tab, and you need to increase its intensity. Let's set the settings to 6. Let's check. It turned out very well. About specular direct, if suddenly there is noise, then it is still worth raising the samples in the lighting. Usually if everything worked out well with diffuse direct, then with specular direct it should also be good. Next, we will continue working with diffuse direct and move on to the softbox. I will immediately increase the intensity. Render. There is a lot of noise. Let's boost its samples. Let's compare. The noise was removed very well. Let's bring the brightness back. And turn on the room. Let's render for diffuse indirect. It is like a global illumination. I will stop. I'll go into layers. As you can see, it makes a lot of noise. It can be fixed in the diffuse render setting. I'll bet 7. If we compare, we see a big difference. Let's move on to specular indirect. This is a reflection of objects in each other. There is noise. To fix this, we will raise the specular in the settings to about 5. I will also make the diffuse a little less so that the render goes a little faster. Compare and see less noise. There is only transmission indirect that is responsible for transparency. I will remove the weapon from the object and leave only the lenses. I will unhook from the camera and come closer. I will render and go to the transparency layers. I will stop. There is noise. I will reduce it using the transmission setting. Raise it to 4. Check it out. The noise is well gone. I will return the object and go to the camera. Let's make a full render of the frame. Let's compare it with the very first one. Arnold can also render on a video card. Here is the switch. The render settings disappear immediately, leaving only the AA camera and samples on the lighting. I hope everything was clear in this tutorial. Like it. If not signed, then subscribe. Write your opinions or questions in the comments. Thanks to all, and bye.